Good morning. How are you today? It's absolutely wonderful for Thursday, the 6th of December, and December's rolling on by really, really quickly. My name's Linda. I'm your trauma recovery coach, and in beautiful Brisbane today, which is actually looking like rain, let me know how you are and where you are from around the world, where you're tuning in from, and remember to say g'day. And if you're here for the replay, let me know that you're here for the replay. I love coming and sharing information with you in order that you can take the pieces away and it's, becomes like a piece of cake. So instead of taking the piece of cake out, it's like we put the pieces of the cake in. Actually, I wish I had one of those. There used to be a game, and I think it was called Game of Life, or anyhow, it was a game, and you used to get little cheese triangles and you used to put them in as you went around, and I can see the game in my head. But that's what life's like for us when we've got complex PTSD. It's like getting the little pieces of cheese that make up the full circle, and as we put each one back in, we become more whole. So it's really worth doing. Now today I want to talk to you, or share some information with you about 7 ways to overcome anxiety. And these are all like the little cheeses. They're just little pieces that we put together as we observe ourselves in our day-to-day life. Okay? So, let's look at the very pretty graphic I did in a rush this morning. Okay, so one of the first things we want to do is learn to recognise the signs of our own panic. Now, that's not when we're in the middle of a panic attack. We want to build into our life an awareness. Let me just turn my phone off. We want to build into our life an awareness of when the panic attack is coming. Now, what we need to do is, I look at it like this. I build into my life an awareness of when I was getting migraines, okay? So instead of all of a sudden I'm aware that bang, I've got this screaming migraine that I need 30 milligrams of morphine for, I build into my life an awareness of I've got a headache, I need to address it now, and then what are all the components of that headache that are coming together to cause me such pressure in my mind, okay? So we want to recognise when the panic attack is beginning to come on. One of the ways that you can do that is by journaling, writing down what's happening for you, or what you can reflect on after the panic attack's gone was happening for you at that time, okay? Definitely take some deep breaths, okay? So breathe in slowly for 5 seconds and breathe out slowly for 5 seconds. Be aware with complex PTSD that holding your breath is not a good thing to do because it can actually trigger you. We already have very, very shallow breathing, so we need to be building into our lives deeper breathing in order that we bring more oxygen into our body. And that's scientific that we need to do that. We need to have more oxygen in our body than what we currently have, okay? We need to take responsibility to figure out what we're afraid of. So sometimes it's very real with complex PTSD that sometimes we don't even know what the trigger is. And I've been sitting on a gym bike and I go to gym regularly, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there and cycling away thinking, oh, I'm going to get there. It's like that, oh, how many more minutes till this is over? And then all of a sudden I'm triggered and I have no idea what triggers me. But what I can do is begin to take responsibility of understanding what that trigger means, what it understands physiology, neurology, biology, what's happening. And primarily what it means is that there's, a whole filing cabinet that's not filed away nice and neat in my amygdala, and for some reason my brain has registered that I don't feel safe or I'm not safe. Obviously it's not true. I'm at gym where I'm always at. So we need to build into ourselves and tell ourselves, I am safe. So repeating that affirmation of I am safe has helped me beyond measure to conquer anxiety. Even when I get triggered now, I'm becoming more aware of that. And as I become more aware of it, I build that. And we build not just the words, okay? We've got to build in the feelings and the awareness, deep awareness from a heart level that I am safe, okay? Always check the facts. And that's what I do at gym. I look around and I check, am I safe? Ask the question. And sometimes I even laugh and I go, oh my goodness, I am safe. This is crazy. Why is my brain being triggered? I don't worry about it anymore, but I do go through my thought process and I do check the facts of what's going on around me. Is there someone there that may have triggered me? Not that it matters. I want to know that I'm safe and I can walk out that door at any time back to where I am safe, either my car or my home. And it's overriding our brain, okay? Think of when your computer crashes. You don't go, oh, the computer crashed, I better just, never look at it again. No, we don't. We go back in and we say, okay, computer crashed, how do I fix it? And it's like that with our brain. It's, when we get triggered, it's like having a computer crash in our head, and then we go, okay, what do I need to do to fix this? And I'm the only one that can do that. Make a decision and take some action to tackle each fear. Now, focusing on the fear isn't the object here. What we need to do is focus on what we can next do to put it all in an order that feels super comfortable to us, and whether it's an escape plan to where I need to go to feel safe, or whether it's no, I want to choose to feel differently about what's happening around me. I'll look and, put some strategies in place so that when it happens, you have options, okay? Give yourself those options and write them down. Look, when we start going through recovery too, our memory, let's face it, we all know our memory sucks, but the memory can get better, okay? That's the good news. The memory can get better, but use whatever means are that you have an option with. If you've got a phone, make notes. I even went to Kmart yesterday because my notebook is just full, and can you believe it? We have sparkly pink notes, $4. But this is the sort of thing I do. I don't normally get sparkly stuff. I normally have black and white, but they ran out of those, and the other colours were dull, so we got sparkly. But make notes. And look, I know this doesn't apply to guys, but if you're a woman, you can get notebooks like this and stick them in your handbag and use them as a resource of, right, train my brain, this is happening, I need to go back and remind myself of what the steps are. And I've got to feel and I've got to breathe. Okay, I'm putting these steps into place because I'm retraining the computer, our brain, that's had a bit of a malfunction at the moment. And it helps to have a sense of humour about it too. It really does. Because it creates less pressure on us. Sell yourself on a positive outcome. I actually had a really big turnaround this morning. I actually got up super early and went to gym before I took my daughter to work. As we know, this week's been crazy because I've had to shift my daily routine around, and that can be really hard for us. So this morning I got up early and went to gym, and it was amazing. But when I was on the gym bike, I got to the end and I went, you know what? I need to stop thinking like, oh, when is this going to be over, and go, yes, I've got half an hour on my own where I don't have to think about anything else except, getting my physical body having more oxygen in it. And I went, wow, imagine if I spent time turning everything around like that. It'd be really awesome. So yeah, it takes us time to get to this space But we can learn to reframe what's happening in our life in order that we're producing not just a positive feel-good, but it's producing positive outcomes which go further out into our life as well and into our heart. Accountability. Have a group or an individual you can connect with. Relationship is the most necessary thing to heal through recovery, to go through recovery, because the abuse, the dysfunction, the neglect, everything didn't happen in a void. You weren't there on your own. There were other people involved. So yesterday I had a session with my mentor, my trauma recovery coach, and it was just brilliant because they're able to validate all the things that they do see in me, which is something that didn't happen for us as kids. And that's why you see a trauma recovery coach, because they have a whole range that they can work with us and, with, as opposed to a therapist who has to run by a strict set of rules. Like, your therapist can't say, I love you, I appreciate you, I see you, I understand you, etc., etc. And look, everyone has their role. We need the therapist in the beginning of recovery. We need that solid. It only goes in these boundaries. But when we're ready, we go and use a coach, because we're then ready to create a whole different type of foundation in our life. And for me, it's helping me flip all my thoughts into where I want to go next. Okay? We have to do this because it wasn't coded into us as kids. It's a necessary part of life. Okay, if that's helped, let me know. Just work on one aspect at a time though. Don't try and do it all in one day, which is something that I would have tried to do once upon a time. But remember, doing this work, I thought of an analogy this morning. Doing this work is like a football season, okay? Or whatever season of sport that you like, but football will do for the moment. It goes on for 6 months and then they put it down and then they come back 6 months later. It's a season. And recovery is an extended season in our life. But through the process of recovery, that season turns over and over and over, and we get to meet different challenges, we get to turn things around, we get to identify and build a solid foundation in us, knowing that we would never abandon ourselves. Okay, that's it for this morning. Blessings and dreams, and I will see you tomorrow, which was Friday here, for some information that you can share and make notes and take to your therapist or coach. Okay, that's it for today. Bye for now.